Yam Hum Yu Lokapalaha, the great leaders of the universe, beginning with Lord Brahma, Kila, what to speak of others, Matsara Jwaraha, who are suffering from the fever of envy, Hitva, leaving aside, Yatantaha, enduring, Api, although, Pratak, separately, Samyatya, combined, Cha, also, Patum, to protect, Na, not, Seku, able, Dipadaha, two-legged, Chaturpada, Sarispraham, reptiles, Shantu, not moving, yet, whatever, Atra, with this material world, Drishyate, is visible. So translation, the purport by Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So translation, my Lord, from the great leaders of the universe such as Lord Brahma and other demigods down to the political leaders of this world, all are envious of your authority. Without your help, however, they could neither separately nor concretely maintain the innumerable living entities within the universe. You are actually the only maintainer of all human beings, of animals like cows and asses, and the planets, of plants, reptiles, birds, mountains, and whatever else is visible within this material world. Please repeat. My Lord, from the great leaders of the universe, such as Lord Brahma and other demigods, down to the political leaders of this world, all are envious of your authority. Without your help, however, they could neither separately nor concretely maintain the innumerable living entities within the universe. You are actually the only maintainer of all human beings, of animals like cows and asses, and the plants, the reptiles, birds, mountains, and whatever else is visible within this material world. Purport. It is a fashionable for the materialistic person to compete with the power of God. When so-called scientists try to manufacture living entities in their laboratories, their only purpose is to defy the talent and the ability of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is called illusion. It exists even in the higher planetary systems where the great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and others reside. In this world, everyone is puffed up with false prestige despite the failure of all his endeavors. When so-called philanthropists who supposedly want to help the poor are approached by members of Krishna consciousness movement, they say, you are simply wasting your time while I am feeding vast masses of starving people. Unfortunately, their meager efforts, either singly or together, do not solve anyone's problem. Sometimes so-called swamis are very eager to feed poor people, thinking them to be Daridra Narayana, the Lord's incarnations, as beggars. They prefer to starve the manufactured Daridra Narayana than the original Supreme Narayana. They say, don't encourage service to Lord Narayana. It is better to serve the starving people of the world. Unfortunately, such materialistic, either singly or combined in the form of the United Nations cannot fulfill their plans. The truth is that the many millions of human beings, animals, birds, and the trees, indeed, all living entities are maintained solely by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman. One person, the Supreme Lord, is supplying the necessities of life for all living entities. To challenge the authority of Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the business of asuras, demons. Yet, sometimes suras or the devotees are also bewildered by the illusory energy and falsely claims to be the maintainer of the entire universe. Such incidents are described in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Sukadevi Goswami tells how Lord Brahma and King Indra become puffed up and were eventually chastised by Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmintam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadankitam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jita Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tamsajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sudha Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhabevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Namaram Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to discuss about the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So although I am very incapable, so all the big stalwarts and Maharathis is sitting here. So whatever I know from my knowledge, so I'm going to discuss. So we are here to discuss on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text 27. We already yesterday heard from the previous verse. You can see here. My dear Lord, just as the puppeteer controls his dancing dolls and the husband controls his wife, your Lordship controls all the living entities in the universe, such as Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and the Shudras, although you are in everyone's heart as the supreme witness and commander, and are outside everyone as well. The so-called leaders of the societies, communities, and the countries cannot realize you. Only those who hear the vibration of the Vedic mantras can appreciate you. So yesterday, Prabhu already explained this clearly, how the living entities come into the bewilderment because of the sense gratification. So then after only through the practice of devotional service, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so when we can revive our original position, from there then we should approach the pure devotee. From the pure devotee, then we start our devotional service by surrendering to them. So continuing again today's verse. So again it is mentioning the same. My Lord, great leaders of the universe, such as the Lord Brahma and other demigods, down to the political leaders of this world, all are envious of your authority. Without your help, however, they could neither separately or concretely maintain this innumerable living entities within this universe. You are actually the only maintainer of all human beings, of animals like cows and asses, and of the plants, reptiles, birds, mountains, and whatever else is visible within this material world. So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna saying in Bhagavad Gita, you can see from here, Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mahi sarva idam proktam sutre maniganaha iva. That means, O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as the pearls are strung on the thread. Control F4 అన్నారు. Control F4 ఇంకొకటి అన్నట్టుంది. అది ఎలా కొట్టాలి మళ్ళీ సెర్చ్ Srimad Bhagavad Gita, you can see from here 7:7. Matta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mahi sarvam idam proktam sutre manigana iva. That means, O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as the pearls are strung on a thread. So this is so from the beginning, so Krishna is telling to Arjuna, is no truth superior than Krishna. Same, the verses continue again. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam. The 7:10 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existence, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men. And why again, although it's clearly has been explained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, he personally came because in the Kurukshetra war, Arjuna got bewildered by so many afflictions of these connections with the body. So Krishna is actually instructing Arjuna. Arjuna was, arguing with Krishna. So what will happen to the whole world, if I kill my family members, if they die, my brothers, all the kinsmen, my grandfather, everyone is die. So what is going to happen? So he was worried so much because Arjuna is the devotee. So he can take the instruction from Krishna. So only the devotees actually can accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But whereas the demons, is not possible. The asuras, they never accept because they think that they are the controllers. So basically the whole the material world is like that. Basically the everywhere we can see the same the position. Everyone actually want to control, not to be controlled. But actual position is that we are the living entities, the part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jivere Swarupai, Krishnere Nityadas. So this is the actually position, because we are time immemorial, we are separated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are thinking that we are the controller. So that's why Krishna same in chapter is saying here, Ichya Dvesha Samutvena. Ichya-dvesha samutvena dvandva mohena bharatah sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapaha. See, so why we are being bewildered? Because the Swayana Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by the dualities arise from the desire and the hate. Because why? So we are in the dualities arise. Why? Because we desire something, we desire other than serving Krishna, and because of the envious. So in the today's verse, the Srimad Bhagavatam verse is the same, because from the Brahma, from the topmost living entity, the Lord Brahma, from all the down to the smallest living creature, even to the ant. So everyone is thinking that we are the controller. Because of the enviousness, Krishna is already saying here, because the dualities arise from the desire and the hate. So we don't want to surrender to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what to speak of surrendering to the Supreme Personality? First of all, we need to accept. So then only the Tadvidi Pranipatena means, then only we can start, can do the service. First thing is that we need to hear. So because we lost his connection from the time immemorial, so not hearing from the Supreme Authority Krishna. There is a Supreme Authority. Evam parampara praptam imam rajashwa vidu. From the, we can see, is the first is the instructing to Lord Brahma. He is instructing the Lord Brahma. Aham evasam evagre. It is from the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9.33. Aham evasam evagre nanyad yat sad asad param paschad aham yat etatcha yo vaishyasate yo aham ham. That means, Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but the myself, nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. See why the Lord Brahma meditated for 100 years of his lifetime, because our lifetime is, our 100 years of a lifetime and Brahma's 100 years is not the same, it's a different. But Brahma meditated for his 100 lifetime, 100 years of his lifetime. So after that he heard the word tapa, then he is saying, Krishna is actually telling to Arjuna, the Brahma. So these are the Chatusloki Bhagavatam. Chatusloki. These are the 4 Bhagavatam from there here actually expanding the whole Srimad Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses. So here the Kṛṣṇa is telling to Brahma, you see, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation. That means there is no other creator than the Kṛṣṇa. There is no other creator than the Kṛṣṇa then. When there was nothing but myself. So actually the people will question, who is the creator of God? Who is the father of God? If someone has the father, someone has the creator, means they are not the God. The God cannot be created. That's why Brahma says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Anadir Adi, he has no Adi, no Antya. That means he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa. Yeah, for that, there is so many research we can actually do from this, all the material elements, all these things, after the living entity, after the material nature, then you want to find out who is that maintaining the creator. Ultimately, you will come to the conclusion is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Kṛṣṇa, is the cause of all cause. That's why for the devotees, it's very difficult to accept all these things. For the atheistic people, it's very, very difficult. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samamrutaha. Naham prakasha sarvasya. For them, actually, Kṛṣṇa covers. Why Kṛṣṇa covers? Because Kṛṣṇa says, Sarvadharmanya parityaja mamayekam sharanam raja ham to sarva papebhyo mokshasami mastuja. The Kṛṣṇa is calling us, to come to him. But why again he covers? Because that is our independence. Whether we need to serve the Lord or to be independent. This is our choice. Kṛṣṇa doesn't need us actually. We need Kṛṣṇa. So for that we need to understand our position. So once we understand our position, then only we can inquire whether, so I need to be served or I need to serve. That is a spiritual consciousness, is that everyone that want to serve, not to be served. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that what? Gopi Bharta Padakamalaya Dasa 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 Dasanu Dasa. So we should be the serving others from a spiritual master to Kṛṣṇa. So we cannot directly jump onto Kṛṣṇa. So the point is that Kṛṣṇa himself is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasya Sarvaloka Maheshwaraha. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasya Sarvaloka Maheshwara. Sarvaloka means what? All is covered, everything. Everything is covered. Even material, spiritual, everything is covered. Sarvaloka means what? And there are 14 planetary systems. Topmost is the Brahmaloka. So Kṛṣṇa is saying, there was nothing but myself, nor there was the material nature, the cause of the creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead, and therefore, thereafter annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. And also the point is that, so God is not some light or something or energy. The light and the energy is one of the aspect of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One of this is the energy. God has multifarious energies. So why we should limit him? We are a tiny living entity, so we want to limit the creator. It's not possible. So that's why, so there are so many verses, so not to prove, but to accept for us, because of the bewilderment of this material, the modes of nature. So next verse. Oh Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. No, it is my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. So today's verse in the saying, whether the creation of animals, or the birds, or the plants, Everything is created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is telling to Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, that means everything is connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So whether living or non-living. So if it is without a relation to me, there is no reality. So no, it is my illusory energy. Because we are in the illusion, as I said, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. Krishna covers once we are in the illusion, so we cannot understand what is right is what is wrong. Just like in the darkness, we cannot see anything. So when the light comes, when the sunlight comes, or maybe some electricity, we can see the things as it is. Because our mind is covered with the material modes, Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, Tamma Guna. So according to that, the living entities, one, it revives his consciousness when he come in contact with the spiritual master, or maybe by hearing the scriptures. So this is the how we can revive our consciousness to accept the Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So but when is when is in illusion, is very, very difficult. It's very difficult. That's why there are so many, like in the past, like in the when Krishna comes, why demon, he kills the demon, because they never accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although that Krishna's pastimes to teach us. So when there is no good qualities, so when the living entity is associated with the mode of Tamaguna, then of course definitely they will have all the tendency to lord over. When the living entity is in the tendency in the lord over, means want to control, so then they cannot accept the Supreme Personality. You can see from the Bhagavad Gita again. Namam dushkritino mooda prapadyante naradama maya prithagnana asurim bhavam ashritaha. So that means those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among the mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake in the atheistic nature of the demons, do not surrender to me. So who cannot surrender to the Lord? So these are the four kinds of people. Means almost you can see in the society, it's almost like same people who is always the proud of their knowledge, so-called knowledge, not the scriptural knowledge, because of the so-called physics, chemistry, biology, maths. So these are not going to help us anyway. They say that without knowing all these things, how can I get my bread and butter? Who is giving the bread and butter? Krishna is giving. Krishna is giving. Annad bhavanti bhutani. Annad bhavanti bhutani prajanyat anna sambhava. So to get the grain, a morsel of grain, is not that we are manufacturing in some factory or maybe in the office or something. No. So Krishna has to give. Who is giving? Bijoham sarvabhutanam. Krishna saying in Bhagavad Gita, Bijoham sarvabhutanam. Again from the 7:10 Bhagavad Gita. So he is giving the seed-giving father of all the living entities. So Krishna is the seed-giving father of all the living entities. So from him actually everything is in connection. The basic actually even to the atheists or maybe the ordinary people, if you can use our common sense, no need to have the great philosophy, big scriptures, all these things. No, it's a common sense. Who is ultimately giving everything? Are we manufacturing? Who is sending the rain? Because of this atheistic nature and also the demonic nature, because we think that so we are the controller. But if we understand that everything is given by God, there is no problem to anyone to surrender to him. It's very simple. Just like as a child surrender to the parents. If the child doesn't question anything, whatever the parents say, they listen because the child depends on the parents. Same thing, we understand that my maintainer is Krishna. So where is the demonic nature and where is the questioning? It's very simple. But because we are from the time immemorial, we are separated from the God. So because thinking that we want to be enjoyed. So Bhagavad Gita, we can see one more verse from the so, oh. You can see from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 5. And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation. For myself is very source of the creation. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Just like the pearls rest on the thread. So Krishna is saying that everything that is created does not rest in me. This is actually the bewilderment. How in everything Krishna is there. Krishna, everything is there in Krishna. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all the living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation. Just like a Prabhupada gives an example, the Ford. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohanty Jai. The Ford, we go to the factory or the company where the Ford is being manufactured, but they're keeping the car name is the Ford. The Ford is not the car. The Ford is actually the person, but they're keeping the car name. But Ford is not the car. The same thing. He's saying, Krishna, I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not part of this cosmic manifestation. For myself is the very source of the creation. So just read from the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9.33. That's we read just now. Aham eva sam eva kre. So in that way, we actually can understand the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kṛṣṇa. See, from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and also from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and also which Upanishads you can see. So the how the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and is the maintainer of everything, and he the master of all the living entities. So we are actually being maintained. So we are the part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. From the Srimad Bhagavatam 326:7. See, the material consciousness is the cause of one's conditioned life, in which conditions are enforced upon the living entity by the material energy. Although the spirit soul does not do anything and is transcendental to such activities, and is thus affected by the conditional life. So the Mayavadi philosophers, who does not differentiate between the supreme spirit and the individual spirit, says that the conditioned existence of the living entities is lila, the pastimes, but the word pastime implies employment in the activities of the Lord. The Mayavadis misuse the word and say that even if the living entity has become a stool-eating hog, he is also enjoying his pastimes. This is the most dangerous interpretation. Actually, the Supreme Lord is the leader and the maintainer of all living entities. His pastimes are transcendental to any material activity. Such pastimes of the Lord cannot be dragged to the level of the conditioned activities of the living entity. In the conditioned life, the living entity actually remains as if a captive in the hands of material energy. Whatever the material energy dictates, the conditioned source does. He has no responsibility. It's simply the witness of the action, but he is forced to act in that way due to his offense in the eternal relationship with Krishna. Lord Krishna therefore says in Bhagavad Gita that Maya, his material energy is so forceful that it is insurmountable. But if a living entity simply understands that his constitutional position is to serve Krishna and he tries to act on his principle, then however conditioned he may be, the influence of Maya immediately vanishes. This is clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter. Krishna takes charge of anyone who surrenders to him helplessness. And thus his influence of Maya or conditional life is removed. The spirit soul is actually the Satchidananda, Brahma Samhita 5.1, eternal, full of bliss and full of knowledge. Another clutches of Maya. However, he suffers from the continued birth, death, disease, and the old age. One has to be serious to cure this condition of material existence and transfer himself to Krishna consciousness. For thus, his long suffering may be mitigated without difficulty. In summary, the suffering of conditioned soul is due to the attachment to the material nature. This attachment should thus be transferred from matter to Krishna. The point is that the Krishna is the leader and the maintainer, being afflicted by the material karanam guna sangasya sadas janma jonisu karanam guna sangasya, because we have taken this birth in the conditioned material nature, because that was our desire to lord it over. So Krishna has given, not that so Krishna is forcing us. We are forced to take birth. But Krishna is not like that. So Bhagavad Gita Krishna 4:9. Namam karmani limpati. Four six. Which was 4? 4:14. Namam karmani limpanti name karma palaspruha iti mam yo bijananti karma bina sa barjati. Means, there is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. So that's when we should understand what. No work actually affects the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just like I read the Leela, thinking that living entities coming to the material world, thinking that the pastimes. No. When it is the pastimes, why you are influenced by the Maya then? You're thinking that you are subjected to the modes of mental nature and also the subject to do the birth, death, old age, and that's it. But what kind of pastimes you are doing? You are being affected by the disease. The Lord is not like that. It's not contaminated. At any time, this Lord is not contaminated. That's why Krishna is saying there is no work that affects me or not do aspire for the fruits of action. But we are actually doing anything, but we'll be implicating. So why you are implicating? Because that we are not accepting. So that's why Krishna is saying, Ajopisan Namya Atma, Bhutanam api Ishwaropisan. So we are taking birth according to our karma, we are taking birth, but Krishna is not like that. Krishna, he is his own free will. Krishna will take the birth as his own free will. Either he take the birth in the living entities or maybe some animal, the bird. In any form, actually can take birth, but is not subject to the birth and death. Krishna will never. So we'll go to the today's verse, see anything need to be covered. So, my Lord, from the great leaders of the universe, such as Lord Brahma and other demigods, down to the political leaders of this world, all are enemies of your authority. So, without your help, however, they could neither separately nor concurrently maintain the innumerable living entities within this universe, who are actually the only maintainer of all the human beings and of animals like the cows, asses, and the plants, reptiles, birds, mountains, and whatever else is visible in this material. And in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is saying that even the materialist scientists even may count all the atoms of the universe, but still they cannot count the innumerable pastimes of the Lord. They cannot even understand the small portion of this. It's very highly impossible. That's why Brahma is saying, throw away the speculative knowledge. Throw away the speculative knowledge. Then only you can understand. Brahma is saying how to understand the Supreme Personality again, because the Krishna is saying that so many things that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because then the atheistic people, they don't understand. But the authorities are speaking, even in today's verse, they cannot understand, but they are telling how to surrender to Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, throw away the process of speculative knowledge and with their bodies, words, and the mind offer all respect to the descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating their lives to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees, certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within these three worlds. It's not possible to conquer the Supreme Personality of Godhead only by throw away the speculative knowledge. We should throw away the speculative knowledge. Just only Tadvidi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshite Gnanam Gnanina If he won't surrender to the pure devotees, who is coming from the chain of discipline succession, then we can throw away the speculative knowledge and we can surrender to him. Otherwise, it's not possible. See, the time the learned philosophers or the scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particles of the snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars and other luminaries. But among these learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended onto the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities? Why Krishna coming? Paritranaya sadhanam, vinashaya dushkutam, dharma samsthapanaya, sambhavami yuge. So Krishna is coming for our own benefit. Krishna doesn't need to come here to kill the demons or demonic nature. He can just send his energies. There are so many innumerable Krishna's energies are there. Just one tsunami, one drought, thunderstorm. All this is enough for us to destroy everything. All material creation can be destroyed because Krishna is so powerful. But it only is coming for the devotees to save. That is the thing Prahlad Maharaj also saying. Even like if the demons they cannot understand because of the too much afflicted to the sense gratification, either by their own interpretation or maybe from the external source, they cannot understand. Atirna Krishna 7:5. Krishna, the Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Prahlad Maharaj replied, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to the materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclination towards Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by combination of both. So even to the combination of both, even speculation or maybe instruction from others, the demons cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only what? The devotees can understand. That's why Krishna has to spoke his knowledge to the devotees, Arjuna. So I want to stop this class here. Any points?
Then you will always have this engaged nature and so similarly, one is in the condition platform, but always have this aspiration. Right?
Yes, sir.
Even in the law. So similarly, anyone who is a condition soul, takes up any leadership position will always have the envious attitude towards anyone else seen as a compassion. Is it? Do you agree? So therefore, the one who is playing the role of a guru, you can see that also similarly becoming very envious of anyone who is that effective. The immune system is leading this enviousness. So instead of accepting Prabhupada and helping to him, they actually becoming envious and envious of each other. That is still the more like suffering from the ego of envy. It says in the verse 18, 40. All the everybody, the demigods of Maya, 1840. So this is the point. There's no existing, there's no existing idea on the demigods. It is free from this little maker. So you see that words 1, 1, 1. I think it's 1, 1, 2.
Mr. Anand.
Which is understandable by those who look at our heart. So the body means you cannot have any envy in the heart.
Envious on the heart.
If we have any envy in the heart, then it cannot become a devotee. Yes? Is it not? Hello? So that means this system of being a guru is very important. Yeah, I'm just saying that they have this enviousness about it.
Okay.
And not only that, their disciples are also similarly getting the same punch.
We have seen practically how they program, how they react to it.
So you see how this verses are substantiating this. Oh, is it not? So, envy cannot be in the heart of a person. Like an amoga in a CC. I'm not talking in the you can go to that chapter, 15, Madhya 15. You can see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling him that the heart is the pure place. You cannot keep all these things in the heart. Can you go there?
254.
2, 4, 5. or 271.
273.
Doing that, keep that. Those were dying of cholera, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to place his hand on Buddha's head. He go to the Sanskrit. See the word Nirmala.
Nirmala.
Mala is good.
Good. The heart of Brahmana is not by nature, is by nature is very clean. Therefore, it is a proper place for Krishna to sit.
What is his name very clean?
No, I understand.
Again, the word
Matsarya.
Matsya, the word Kṛṣṇa. This is a supercarrier. This is everyone who is has got his language.
Chandala.
It is a lower version of Kṛṣṇa. Next translation.
Why have allowed the Chandala of jealousy to sit here also? In this way, you have committed a most purified place to your heart.
The understanding is one word. Very okay. Next.
However, due to the association of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, all your contamination is now vanquished. When a person's heart is cleansed of all contamination, he is able to chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna.
Again, think about it. We only can.
Heart
The
is
heart is free of
jealous and
envy. And that also, of course, is the real reason why the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the heart. But of course, the Lord is not taking credit. He is giving credit to.
Sarvabhauma.
So, and he's saying, because of association only this is possible. Envy, you cannot come out of envy on your own ground, on your own strength. That's not possible. And only by
Association.
and by birth. All of us has got this and
Hatred.
Bhagavad Gita.
Hatred.
So you see here, it says division. You see the word division?
Desha.
This word division is what? Division is what?
Hate.
It also means envy. It also means
Envy.
friendship.
O Sayan Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arise from desire and hate.
So this word hate is also means envy. So in order for the living entity to come out from this platform, because this is in the motion of nature, only by association of the body you can be free from this. You cannot become free from this envy, by your own strength. That is a very important point in this book. Therefore, if you go to the faulty belief system, you cannot make any spiritual. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And you see the example is that well, you should remember this verse 5, 18, 27. Right? See, again, another one, 1 to 17. See the word here? Sudat Satam.
Satam.
This word, you see the word there? Sudat. You see the word? Satam.
Of the truthful.
Translation, truthful word.
Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, the super soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted.
From the heart of a devotee, who is what? Virtuous. Yeah? This word virtuous means the devotee who doesn't have this envy.
Material enjoyment.
So now going back again, can you go to this verse 11, 17, 27? See the word there? Buddha Suyeta.
Asuya, na asuya, na asuya.
Can you go back?
One should know the Acharya.
See the word? See the word? Asuyeta. One should be envious. So now Asuyeta means one should not
Not
be.
envious.
Yes. I will take the translation.
One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him as an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods.
Understand? Why particularly the word envy is used in this word? So you see the point is so important. When you want to enter in the heart, and you cannot, you will be showing disrespect to that church, and that it becomes a very offensive position. Yes, translating this, that means you can see how Islam has become very offensive to us.
Srila Prabhupada.
That's why it's a sinking ship. You cannot make spiritual advancement by taking that ship. Sir Prabhupada, remember? And that's how people he was going to give the club in house. Prabhupada said, listen, until he re-established the link with me, and by what he's saying, that he is my surrendered devotee. But my action is otherwise. It is the same thing that applies not only to anyone who does not accept the authority of, then the link is broken. So all this is due to envy. Matsara, Dwara. Dwara means what? Understand? No? Huh? You understand? I think that's why this word they can so powerful, they are Buddhists. Every word saying they are Buddhists. So if you think you want to go and join them, good luck. Yeah. Spiritually you're committing. Spiritual life means that you must give up this empty. You want to have Krishna in your heart, then you must give up. Okay. So that can be done by association of not any devotee. Devotee in proper
Chain of
understanding. Devotee who are properly required over, Shubhat Satam. That's now we saw the word, But fruitful devotees. Devotees who are in proper standing. You have that word, Friendship should be cemented.
the same
That word, you always speak about that. So that is
327.
So therefore, association means the right association. Friendship should be cemented with the property in the people. 3:17. 3:29:17. 3:29:17.
One should steadily control the
Friendship.
yeah.
Friendship, yes.
Friendship should be cemented between the persons with the mutual interest and understanding. Such persons are said to be in Swajati of the same caste. The devotee should avoid a person whose character is not fixed in the standard understanding, even though he may be a Vaishnava or a devotee of Krishna. If his character is not correctly representative, then he should be avoided. One should steadily control the senses and the mind and simply follow the rules and regulations, and he should make a friendship with the persons of the same standard.
That's why they say, after all, they also chanting 16 rounds, they also, have they always say, so, but they are not following the, it's not possible. You understand? It's not, because they are not proper to the word, correctly what? Represented, not the word, not
Correctly
So now coming back to the sea, coming to Kacharia and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually touched him, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually glorified because he's God, right? But you see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did because of the association with. So why you put the word Sarup? You could have said so many other devotees' names. Why you put the word Sarup?
because he accepted.
What?
He accepted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
That's the point, because he is truthfully, rightfully situated. You understand? He was a Maya, but he changed. He became a self-defense now. So you must go to somebody who is like that. Then yes, you will also get purified of this mentality. Otherwise, I don't think it's important. Doesn't matter if they are small or big or what. Maintain it to be rightly.
Situation.
If you're not in the right situation, then forget it. It's not going to work. And the test is, you see whether you give up your idea or not. If you have that, now coming to us, suppose I have envy in my heart, then what to do? If you not have, but I have, then what to do? Yes. So they have to go to at one devotee and okay. So that's why association to, sorry, 2283. 2283.
The root cause of devotional service to the Lord Krishna is association with the advanced devotees. Even when one's dormant love for Krishna awakens, association with the devotees is the still most essential.
But they are more essential. Can you go to another verse? 2133. 131.
One should taste the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of pure devotees, and one should associate with the devotees who are more advanced than oneself and who are endowed with a similar type of affection for the Lord.
See the word?
Sajat, yes.
Very important. So, one should not associate professional nothing. Right? Correct? I hope like that point of it. I think this is a very, very important verse. I wish to take more of this verse. And we can follow that. Can write it in it. Alright.
Within Marx is saying that saying that once 758, what's it there? 758.
Actually, that one is more about mobile. Not anti so much about mobile. Here the word and meaning you cannot go and eat them. Just you cannot. Because all the people are committing this problem eating. Correct? Jiva himself. This comes under that word. Jiva himself. Committing violence to others. That's another topic. But here we are talking about. So So I guess you understand this is very important. I don't know, we recorded this thing. I'm sitting here. And then I will make another video for it. So that's what I say how important certain work to the doctor. It really makes a whole different understanding. Is it not?
Yes, Guru.
Yes, because of the Holy Presence. All the way from here, you also.
Actually, it also compounds of constitutive elements. Kṛṣṇa, that they are made to Prabhupada. Also of Kṛṣṇa.
Because of the envy in the heart, which is being born, you are a conditioned.
That is
So because you are in that conditioned nature, if you try to take up a higher position, you will also carry the same point. So now let's say I become a Guru and I'm a conditioned soul. Then in my heart, there will only be and so having that kind of contamination, I will not be able to help anybody else because I'm conditioned. Yes?
but we need always real. Need apparatus to real.
So anyone who comes in line with me, I'm going to idiot. Because nobody is a competitor. I'm a guru. Nobody is a guru. So Prabhupada says something not in line with what I'm doing, then I get into it. Prabhupada says it's quick. I'm a guru. I can only do that. You understand? It's the nature of one. You can take a good thing of people who are that's not Prabhupada said it
Sajati.
properly represented. You go to somebody, so many people is that. When you go there and you don't understand this, then how do you want your and we like say now they understand. Suppose I don't explain all these things, how do I understand? You will think we are there to be devoting yourself to me. You understand? And you go down. As long as it's not broken connected. If it's not properly connected, then you let anything like now, let's say like this. It's not even- Now you take the south.
11:29, 15.
So similarly, now you're reading, suppose you don't count any book. Okay. Then what will happen to the mind? Therefore, you have to understand the subtlety in the mind, how dangerous it is. And if you have envy, you cannot go back to that. Yes, and the Mahaprabhu said that. And you will not be able to channel. Not the last thing. The moment you finish the direction, then you will not have this kind of thing. And the present soul will not have envy because it's above the same soul. That's the whole idea is that for this
Mamcha Vicharana Bhakti Yoga. Mamcha Vicharana Bhakti Yoga.
Abhyasarana, without contamination, without
Motive.
falling, emotional practice, without unfailing. Correct? So then you cross over the three. But there's also another word. 7, 10, 25. So you should have unflinching faith in you. Then also you cannot cross. Then also you cross over the three lines. Right?
One must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness, and then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Siddha Sattva. All this can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master in faith and devotion. In this way, one can conquer the influence of the modes of nature.
See that? So that means you must have unflinching that yesterday, Parabhakti, yesterday. Then you will also get automatically all this. That means you go over the. So that's another symptom of knowing that you are beyond the moon. That's when you get all this knowledge. You get it? But if you offend the spiritual master, then the first thing you lose is this 17 to 5. Are you? Five, 7. Okay, listen.
When all the students thus resolved, criticizing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their intelligence was spoiled. Thus, although they were learned scholars, because of this offense, the essence of knowledge was not manifested in them.
In other words, we join all the students. See the word? So if you go and join that group, then whatever your intelligence will be. And even though you study all proper books, this because of the offense, the essence of knowledge will not manifest. You understand that? You know what does that mean? That is what that means. Although proper books, so many books here, and today they are studying books, and they realizing so many things. So why they cannot? Because their intelligence is you understand? Please try to understand why you are now following. It's a big reason for that. You understand? It's not that you are just following blindly. Oh, I like to go for square points. So, if you want to know how to become the language, because of language, they are positioned birth of the birth of the birth of the birth. Because that is some 727, we are all born into this, no? Yes? So you want to come out. So we need that. Proper guru. Proper guru means they also have to say, yes, they don't follow. Anything else you want to add? Anybody else?
Also saying that it's very good and it's now going to get out.
They must go to the
They have yesterday it was like directly, what we say literally is indirectly is going to
they have to do devotional studies correctly. They cannot do devotional studies either. They don't process it. Silver Dāsa will tell you, no. Jirganam Vishnu, that word, the word Adha. The word Adha means you must do directly devotion. You cannot do devotion either.
7:5:23. Now you want to understand what is indirect. What is indirect and what is direct? And again, question. Yes. See here. This was the word ada. Next. Here the word ada. Create a anguti ada. Someone is this is the translation. Word for word. Directly or completely. See the word? Not indirect. Or what? So what is direct and what is indirect? Again, question back. How we understand it? What is indirect? So that straight in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12. Right? Krishna said what? You do directly, you should do. If you cannot do this, you calculate on. If you cannot calculate on, you do it on. These are all in direct.
All Brahma, Nano, also in that. Because there is no desire.
Yeah.
And that way is no desire.
Correct. Where you going? No, you go. Then you are you work for me. That is you cultivate knowledge. Again, that is you understand? These are all indirect.
Yeah.
But here I'm speaking about direct, how do you calculate direct? So if you cannot fix your mind upon it in the application and follow the regulations, it's called okay? So here, if you cannot practice regulations of yourself, then just try to work on it. This is what?
Indirect.
Yeah?
Indirect.
It's not direct. Okay? See here, unable to work in this line, then try to act giving up all results of your work at night. This is
Indirect.
next. Knowledge. And then you do meditation. This is all Jnana Yoga. Huh? These all are in
Indirect.
and you see how you say very because you try to give up envy again, the same word. This is correct. From here onward, all correct. It's all a system of first class. So this is all.
Direct sense.
So you have to do devotional service. Anya Vilasita Sunya.
Jnana karma
Karma.
anavati.
Anukulena Krishna. Bhakti. So you cannot do indirect devotion. Go.
now while you are joining the liquid camp, make clear.
So that's why I said that indirect services are not recommended. And why is so because of these are recommended also by Bhagavad Gita. That's why I said that indirect services are not recommended. And Bhagavad Gita said also you can do the service direct.
So Krishna finally said, what he said?
Bhaktama.
So Sarvadhyam Upadhyam is correct or incorrect? He also said, he will talk about me, that using me, that what? How you can talk about Krishna indirectly? That Maya. The Maya was very indirect. Trying to say that Maya was not just doing this, okay.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. To the viewers, actually maybe they are not aware what has happened here. So just grace in the Prabhu added a few points, I mean, not only few points, added the whole class again, like the point of Nirmasara Jura. So how these the gurus who have been elected, not self-proclaimed gurus, so are actually who are envious of Srila Prabhupada. You see from the Bhagavad Gita, even you can see from the topmost planet, all the demigods who are in the modes of mental nature, they are by birth we are also envious. This is Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 27. Being very envious to the guru, so one is actually cannot be a devotee. So that is the basic point that Prabhu has been explained here. How to get out from this enviousness? So by association, that Prabhu gave the example, Amoga, who was very envious of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and because of his association with the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and association of that the devotees, so his envious has been clean. So means it cleans the enviousness. And from all these points, so the devotee should be in the association of. So one has to become devotee means is in with the association of devotees. So that is the main point. So should we learn all these things points in this today's class, and should not be envious. The Brahmana by nature is a pure. That we have to understand. So we're going to thanks for all the points, Prabhu. So we're going to end the class here. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Go Premanande.
Indian class.
1 to 17 is what they like. So it's always 1 year the count.